So we are continuing our 8 Limbs of Yoga series. So today, let me make sure my music is off here. Let me bring up the poster once again. We can see where we are on this journey. Spotlight. So here we are. And you can always let me know if you don't see this. So we've gone through the yamas, the niyamas, the asana, pranayama. Last week was pratyahara, sensory withdrawal, bringing the senses inward. And here we are on dharana, concentration. So dharana, and these last 3, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi, are kind of like the final stages of the yoga practice. And these are where it becomes really an internal kind of a mental practice, where it's about your mind state, and the absorption with our environment. So we kind of blend into our environment. We become fully immersed into the present moment. So it's helpful to go back, actually. There's a few lines in the Yoga Sutras that talk about the different states of mind, which can be really interesting. So they talk about there's 5 basic states of mind. And the first one is called the monkey mind. So it's like a really disturbed, kind of very unsettled type of mindset, where our mind is kind of bouncing all over the place. It's aggravated, it's really uncomfortable. It's like if you see someone in a really aggravated state where you can't talk with them, they're just fully kind of in that base level of their mind, like their amygdala has just been hijacked and they can't control their thoughts or their actions. So that's that monkey mind. The second stage is the donkey mind, they call it. So it's kind of like a dull state where you might feel just like totally lethargic, like you don't want to do anything, you don't want to move, you don't want to think, you don't care what happens. It's like fully apathetic, like a really down, really depressed state. The third state is the butterfly mind, and that's where your mind kind of bounces all over the place. It's like, it's not necessarily a really uncomfortable or a dangerous state of mind, but it's like you can't focus on anything. So it's easily distracted. They call it like the shiny object syndrome. Your mind is here, and then a few seconds later you're there, and then here and there, here and there. So those first 3 states of mind are we probably all felt them from now and then, from time to time. We've probably seen them in other people. We can recognize these. And this was written 2,500 years ago. So apparently the mind hasn't changed a whole lot since then. So these tools are still useful. So then the last 2 states, you have the single-pointed mindset. And that's where you're able to concentrate or focus on something. So being able to immerse yourself maybe in an activity. Maybe it's knitting or playing music. Maybe it's doing yoga. Maybe it's a breathing practice. It's traditionally, in the yoga tradition, it's using mantra or meditation or chanting or visualization, staring at a candle flame. You could do all kinds of things. And it could be something you do in your daily life. Maybe riding your bike really gets you into that single pointed focus where you can really immerse yourself in the moment. And so then that leads to the final state of mind, which is the lucid mind. And that's where, when you can sustain presence long enough, it's like the awareness expands to include everything that's happening, and it's like a flow state where you're fully present here, and that presence transfers into the next activity, and it transfers into the next thing, and there's kind of a sense of flow and a sense of rhythm and timing throughout your life, throughout your day. So that's ultimately that lucid state. So if you had your choice, I suspect we would all prefer those last 2 states, right? Those are generally the most pleasant and the most productive, the most beneficial for our life. So this 4th state, this is really about our practice today. the dhyana practice is how to practice single-pointed focus, how to bring our mind to a single task, to a single focal point. And we could use lots of different things. And that generally will pull us out of any of the previous three. It can kind of lead us out of those really disturbed, dull, and distracted states, and then that can then translate into a lucid state. So that is Dharana, this sixth limb of yoga. So let's get into a little bit of meditation, and we're going to discover, and you get to choose your single-pointed focus for today. And there's a few options you can choose from, of course. So go ahead and get comfortable. You can sit in a cushion or on the edge of a seat so your back is straight, your shoulders relaxed. You can roll your shoulders back and down. And nice deep breathing. Just let your body get comfortable. Let your neck swivel, turning from side to side, releasing the neck and the spine. You can move your jaw, your face. Feeling the upper back release a little bit. Little rotations of the sensations of your breath and your body. Bring your mind into that single-pointed focus, into the present moment. And rotating the other way. Let your head settle to the center, and let's start by focusing in on your breath. As we practice pratyahara, bringing the senses inward, direct all your senses towards the sensations of your breath. Feel it moving through your body. Hovering at the top and the bottom of each breath, sustaining just a little bit longer. And if you'd like to use your breath as your dharana today, your single-pointed focus, you can return to this throughout the class. Anytime you notice your mind wanders off, you can anchor it back by noticing your breath. This is a good practice for those that are kinesthetic, those that have a strong sense of their body, a strong sense of the feeling in their body. Now perhaps today, or most days, you have a lot of words going through your mind. You have a very active inner voice. So one way to practice dharana for those that have a active inner voice is to choose a mantra. So you can pick one word that you can use as a focusing point for your mind. Instead of trying to stop your mind from thinking, just give it something specific to think about. So choosing one word that brings you to the moment, that brings you to your values. That when you think that word, you feel more integration, more presence. And this could be your dharana for today. And then there are those that are more visual. And even now you may have a hard time closing your eyes and focusing inward. You might like to look around at things. In that case, you can choose a drishti, which is a visual focal point. And so you might find something in the space you're in. Maybe it's a plant or a piece of art, or just something that is pleasant to look at, something that can hold your attention. And you can use that as an anchor for the visual part of your mind that tends to like to look at everything. And your drishti can be your dharana for today. So now that you have either a kinesthetic, a verbal, or a visual dharana, and perhaps you haven't decided which one you want to use yet, you can now take this with you through the class, and we'll integrate dharana into our practice today. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. All right, and if you're ready, let's come on up to standing and let's begin moving. We'll get your body warmed up so you can grab your bow staff, drape it across your shoulders, and we'll start with a swimmer warm-up. Take the staff, let it drape, and turn your body side to side, lifting your back heel as you turn and twist. Just keep going there. I'm going to fiddle with my camera here. It seems to have gotten out of frame. And you can rotate now forward, making a swimming motion. One arm at a time, you press down, the other arm lifts up. And throughout class today, I'll offer reminders to reconnect with your dharana. Perhaps it's the breath and the sensations in your body. A verbal affirmation or mantra, or a visual drishti, a focal point. Go ahead and reverse, going backwards. And one of the nice things about our warm-ups, often they are consistent and familiar, and so you're able to then focus on some of the other aspects, some of the other details. So as you press down one arm, you can relax the other arm, playing with the pressure. Let your neck release a little bit here. Roll your neck and massage. And if you're wondering why my cats are barking, we're in Virginia, so our cats are in Oregon. We have a new assistant, Milo, who's ferociously guarding the house. So go ahead and massage the neck, turning your head, rolling and releasing. neck and the upper back. You can kind of round your back and roll to the shoulders and the upper back a little bit too. It's a little maneuvering sometimes to get there, but rocking and releasing. Now take your right hand up and release your left arm. Make a little sack of potatoes. Take your back hand, palm down, and then press and massage that shoulder. Pressing into the upper back, the side of the neck can stretch a little bit. Press and massage your top of the traps. Make sure that the back hand is pointing down. If it's pointing up, it may strain the shoulder, so the back hand palm is down. Good. Press and release. And then rolling the staff from left to right a little bit. Your front hand can come closer. Great. All right, now switch hands. So release your back hand and then reattach it in the front. Release your front hand and then reattach it in the back. So now the other arm is forward. Massage that shoulder. So when you start thinking about the benefits of our class or yoga in general, you might notice that dharana is happening whether or not you realize it. And that's often what people notice when they go through a class is they go from those first 3 mental states. They might come into class feeling really upset or really dull and tired or really distracted and come out feeling more clear and focused and a much more enjoyable mental state. And so if you think about what has happened in class, you're bringing your mind to your body, the present moment, the breath. You've kind of limited some of the distractions, right? So dharana is happening not just in yoga class, maybe in lots of things. But by having a name for it and knowing what's happening, it's much easier to replicate. Go ahead and press down and tilt your head to the side and breathe. Releasing out. Feeling the jaw relax. Wonderful. And then slide your hand over and up. And now take your staff up high, shrug your shoulders, give your arms a little break. Roll and release. Now feet wide, hands wide, let's move to the vortex. So take your hands in a circle and rotate all the way around your body. A slow, smooth circle. Good. Opening the chest, the back. I remember years ago when I first started doing yoga, I would take classes and the teacher would ask us to set an intention at the beginning of class. And I remember one day setting an intention, I want to be aware of my breath, every breath, for the entire class. Not losing presence on a single breath. And at that time that felt ridiculous, like that felt impossible. And after focusing on that for several months, let's reverse when you're ready. I remember it actually happened one time where there really was the ability to feel each and every breath. It was a Ashtanga class and you use the Ujjayi breathing, which I think we've done in the past, that Darth Vader breath. So it's kind of an audible, it has a little bit more of a sensation. It's a lot easier to feel than just a normal breath. But I remember that was such a profound experience to sustain focus on the breath for about an hour. It certainly doesn't happen every time, but having that focus, that dharana, whether it's a mantra or a breath or a drishti, even in small pieces, can totally transform the experience of the class. Now take your hands up and go all the way back. Open the chest and breathe. If you're focusing on the breath, sometimes closing your eyes can help, removing the visual distractions. Feel the warmth spreading across the lungs, the arms, to the fingers. One more full breath, all the way to the edges. And on your exhale, soften the elbows, bring your hands back up and over, and release. Now flip one hand upside down, so you hold the staff like a walking stick, and then take it behind you, palms forward, raise it up high behind the shoulder blades, tuck your elbows behind the staff. Take your feet wide, and you can either hold it here and make a swimming motion, or if your wrists are comfortable, you can wrap your fingers underneath and around and rotate. Find your dharana once you settle into the position, and integrate that into the movements. Beautiful. And then backwards, circling. Rotating, massaging. All right, and then bend your knees. And holding the staff up high on your upper back, slide your hands, palms face forward, slide your hands in slightly. And you make sure you have enough space, your elbows can kind of move about. Bend your knees and a gentle arch here, lifting the heart. And smile, open the chest. Comfortable deep breath. Find your dharana. And then release, relax. Let your arms slowly melt back down, and savoring those sensations, pausing there. Feel your breath return to normal. Wonderful. Feet wide. Plant your staff in the center now. Your hips move back as your arms move forward. Elongate your spine, stretch your hamstrings, and shift your hips side to side here. Stretch your inner thighs, the edges of your body. And now take your left hand up high, your right hand down low, and rotate to the side and breathe. Turntable, let your upper thoracic open, your lungs have a little more space. And on your next breath, come back to center and switch your hands now. The top hand and the bottom hand trade places, and then rotate, turning the other way. Keeping your pelvis pretty stable here. Focus mainly on the upper back. Your neck can rotate. Make sure you're spreading the pressure out pretty evenly, so no one part of your body is holding too much by itself. And back to center now. Bend the knees, squaring your shoulders, hips, and shrug and release. Wonderful. Now right leg forward, left leg back, and gliding into a lunge. One of my teachers was talking about meditation, this process of dharana, and they're saying it's kind of like if anybody has done like crocheting or knitting, or I'm sure you all understand the process. There's lots of little motions and movements putting the strings together, and they're saying it's like if you start off and you're making a sock, and then halfway through you change your mind, you decide, no, actually I'd rather make a hat. And then you start making a hat, and then you're like, no, actually I want to make a sweater. And by the end, if you keep changing your mind, you're going to end up with some totally weird garment that does nothing, right? So it's kind of like that. The process of dharana is choosing to stick to one thing long enough to take it to completion. So go ahead and hold there, raise your arm up high and breathe. Feel the upper body, the front body, the chest, the hips, the throat open. If you find your balance here, you can even take your staff up high with you, palms facing backwards. Find your dharana at the peak of the pose, integrating it into your movement. And on your exhale, let your arms float down. Plant the staff next to your front foot. Your free hand now will rotate, turning to your side. Revolved lunge. You may need to readjust your feet a little bit to make it more comfortable, and keep in good alignment, your knee above your ankle. On your exhale, switch sides, and for this one, take the staff to the outside of your front leg, and you'll provide a little bit more opening in your chest here. Keep the lunge in your lower body, your upper body stays long and tall. Find your drishti or your dharana. And now, keeping that lower body the same, plant the staff in front of your toes. Take your back hand, sweep it under, and then reattach it to the staff, maybe at the top. Slide the hand down to a side angle pose. If the height of the staff doesn't really work well with your body, you may need to just hold with the bottom hand and reach up with the top. You're looking to have a nice long line from heel to fingertip. This is where sometimes having a longer staff, if you're taller, will give you a little extra room to work with. And now exhale. And now come back to center. And you can switch your feet or just switch directions. And the other foot now is leading into your lunge, rocking your hips. You can always modify by making it a crescent lunge by lifting your back heel, which challenges your balance a little bit more. All right, find your lunge, raise one or two hands up high. Find your dharana. And on your exhale, lowering down, plant the staff opposite your front foot. And extend your free hand, now rotate behind you, turning your torso, turning your head. Revolved lunge. If you're leaning into the staff really hard, try to lighten your touch. Let your legs take over more. On your next exhale, switch hands. Same side, hand and leg are leading, and you can take the staff to the outside, opening your chest a little further as you rotate, and turn the other way. Combining two of the most powerful movement patterns, lunges and twists. And then perhaps adding one more element, you can add a smile. One of the most applicable yoga poses, the Smileasana. A slight bending of the corners of your mouth, upward and backward. Exhale, coming back. And now take your wide stance, your staff at the center, hips apart, your heels back, so you're kind of square on the edges of your feet. And now tilt the pelvis left and right. Okay. Just isolating the pelvic bowl, tilting it side to side, and feeling the inner thighs here. Sometimes these smaller motions create bigger effects than the larger ones. So just tilt the pelvis. Feel those inner thighs, outer hips waking up. And now turn the toes out 45 degrees and then bend your knees and shift your hips. And now you can get a fuller sensation through the whole leg. Nice. Rocking side to side. Lowering down as your body warms up. And then hold on one side. Lean the staff to that same side shoulder. Fold forward and slide your hand down toward the extended leg. If you're using a visual drishti, you may need to choose several. So as you turn and look at a new direction, you have something new you could focus on. And bend your knees, rise up. Now switch to the other side. Leaning into the shoulders, sliding your hand down. Finding your breath, your mantra, or your drishti. When you're ready, bend your knees, press through both legs to rise back up. Return. Wonderful. Okay, you can shake off your body. Just notice how you're feeling here. Wonderful. Now let's open up the back of your body. You can take a block or a pillow or edge of a chair. We're going to do some forward folds here. You can set your staff to the side and find something that you can use to raise the floor up. For most people, it's really nice to have a block, a pillow, or even the edge of a chair. Just put it in front of you. Your feet come close together. They don't have to touch, but close enough. Hands to the lower back. Place them on your sacrum. Draw your shoulders back. Inhale, do a lift and a light back bend. And then exhale, soften your knees, slide down and forward. Your hands slide down the backs of your legs. Sometimes it's nice to massage them on the way down if they're feeling a bit bound up or tight. And find your prop, block, pillow, chair, something you can lean into. And by putting some of your weight from the upper body down through the prop, you can actually release your legs a little bit. And let your upper body fold down gradually. Let your neck, head release. Practicing dharana isn't so much sustaining your concentration constantly, it's recommitting to it constantly. Losing it and finding it, losing it and finding it. And as you find it over and over and over and over again, that concentration will develop. So with each new position, each new shape, each new perspective, integrate your dharana once again. If you'd like to cradle your elbows with your hands, you can release your upper back and neck as your head hangs loose between the arms. You might even hold the hands behind your ankles, drawing your chest and belly down. And then placing your hands on your prop, elongate your spine into a half forward fold, so your upper back elongates. And then bend your knees, pressing down with your feet, rising up, stacking your spine from the bottom, slowly up to the top, shrugging your shoulders, up, back, and down. Release. Wonderful. Clasp your hands now and elongate your spine straight upwards. You can pump your ankles and toes up and down, back and forth. Feel that warmth spreading to your body. And then release, heels down, arms float. And let's move into Tadasana, mountain pose. Your palms open, shoulders back, feet together. And you can either close your eyes or look forward and find your drishti, focal point. Tune into your dharana. And release your concentration. And now grab your staff once more. We're going to move now into some balance challenges. If there's one way to bring your mind to the moment, it is balance. Let's take your staff to one side, take the same side leg up and circle, rotate. Circling, keeping the upper body, the shoulders nice and light. And same leg reverse. Challenging your balance by lightening your touch, hovering your staff or taking it away completely. All right, now switch. Other hand, other side, rotate. Finding your core, like the axle of a wheel, keeping you centered. Reverse, same leg, opposite way. And release, shake that leg out. Come back to the right side. Hand on your hip, lift your right knee up and down a few times, warming your hip flexors. We're going to strengthen and solidify the core and the lower body. So now hover, that front knee comes up and then kick forward. Fire kicks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you're going to hold now. 10, 9, challenge your balance by taking away the staff. 6, 5, 4, 3, it's there if you need it though, 2, and 1. Shake your leg out, release. If the hip feels tight, you can tap or roll afterwards, releasing any residual tension that you don't want to take with you. Good, shake it out. It's like if you're cooking, you get something on your hands, it's nice to wash it off before moving on to the next task, right? So don't take that tension with you. If you can, release it before moving on. Switch hands, switch legs, hand to hip. Let's lift the other knee up and down a few times. A lot of the physical practices of yoga are really preparations for the mental practices. To have a strong and stable, powerful, balanced body becomes this container for your mind. Your mind has this comfortable place it can live, this secure place it can sustain itself. Go ahead, lift up, hold, fire kicks, forward. 1, 2, you can choose the height starting low, you can always raise it later. 3, 4, 5, 6, lightening the touch on the staff, challenging your balance. 8, 9, let's hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. Release. Roll and tap. Washing off that tension before moving on to the next. Good. So it's kind of like if you're going to sit in a chair, it's nice to have a chair that's really solid, right, and stable, not one that you are afraid is going to collapse on you, right? And also it should be comfortable, it should be soft to the touch, so you can have the strength and the ease. That's that sthira sukha balance in yoga. So when we can cultivate that in our body, the mind loves to be in the body. If your body doesn't feel good, doesn't feel stable, your mind wants to escape. So this is preparing for the mind. Take your staff out to the side, all the way out about arm's length. Turn that toe and foot and hip out 45 on the same side. Shift your weight so that the other leg is empty. We're gonna bend the knee. So from the side view, your knees are touching each other. And you lift the leg up, it's like a dog at the fire hydrant. The other hand, extend out, bend the elbow. These are called round kicks, and you're gonna kick like a roundhouse. Your elbow and knee are actually set, right? Your midline, and then they bend away from each other, and then they point the same direction to the side. And you wanna feel this in the outer hips here, the standing leg. If you're over relying on the staff, just lighten your touch, let your leg take over more. It's there as much as you need, but as little as you can. Now hold. 10, 9, 8, maybe fly a little. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, bend the knee, And return. Tap those outer hips. So we're reinforcing, strengthening your structure so that you can be more comfortable. Other side now, hand out about arm's length. Turn the toe of that foot out a little bit. This will help open your hips. Shift your weight. Bend the knee. So knees are touching. Lift the leg. Extend your arm, bend the elbow. Starting point, and now kick. 1, 2. Keep your toes curled back. 3, 4, 5, 6. Feeling those outer hips. Hello, hips. 8, 9. Let's hold the last one for 10. 9. Pick a height that works for you. 7, 6. Maybe fly a little. 4, 3, 2, and soft landing. Release. Tap and roll. Nicely done. Are you getting warm? I definitely am. Now there's a good balance practice that also will stretch your outer hips and challenge the strength of your legs. If you're worried about balance at all, you can do this in front of a chair or in front of a couch instead of standing in the middle of the room. Take your right leg up and your staff in the right hand. Lift the right leg, cross it up and over above the knee. So it's above the knee if possible. And your other hand can hold it there. It's okay to lean the staff into your body for more stability. And then you just start to sit down and squat. If this bothers your joints, then you can opt out or modify. It's like a standing figure 4. And the bent leg, you may feel the outer hip open up. And if you're feeling pretty stable here, you can take away one hand, maybe even 2 hands. And hover. If you want an even more advanced version, try to smile at the same time. There should not be any sharp pains. Fatigue is okay though. When you're ready to come back, you can use your staff to support you as you rise. Shake your legs and release. All right, you know what's coming next. Switch sides. Same side as the staff, you're gonna lift that leg up, cross it over above the knee, so it's resting, the ankles resting on the thigh. You can lean the staff to the shoulder, making a little lean-to, and then you just sit the hips back and down, feel the outer hip open, find your balance, find your drishti or dharana, and hold. Notice how the balance pulls your mind to the moment. And now rise up, shake your legs, and release. Well done. Set your staff down. Take your sole and roll, massage your arch. A little dessert after that tough one. Letting any tension melt out of your hips and legs, down and out through your feet. And then press and release, shifting your body weight. It can be an interesting practice to integrate these concepts of the 5 states of mind into your day, noticing them in yourself, but you'll also notice them in other people. Maybe on TV or in a movie you're watching or just seeing people interact. You can start to think to yourself, wonder which state this is. Is it the disturbed, the dull, the distracted, the single-pointed or focused? or that lucid, integrated state. Go ahead and roll the arches, massaging it out. And pausing for a moment before you switch feet, savoring the sensations and contrasting the two sides. And now the other one, roll and release. You can tilt the foot side to side, front to back. You can imagine excess heat, excess energy releasing out through the arches, pressing, milking the foot from front to back. Good. And then rolling and release. Always nice to get a foot massage on a Saturday. When you're done, place your feet next to each other, standing in Tadasana, arms open, eyes can close here. Sensations, bring your mind to the moment. All right, let's put your staff away to the side and we'll take a 30-second water break. You want to sit for a little while, rest, or rehydrate. Go ahead. Okay, when we return, we're going to get into a little bit of Qigong work. So let's do some body vibration. So find a comfortable place to stand. So it's going funky with my music here. Let's try it again. You can start to bounce your body up and down, just lightly vibrating. There we go. Good, and just for a few minutes shake out your body, increasing the sensations of your body can be a great way to bring your whole awareness to the moment. Shaking your fingers, your arms, your elbows, your wrists, shoulders and back. Shaking your head gently to clear your thoughts away. Feeling the neck release, the facial muscles relax. Your spine vibrating, ribs. Relax the belly and your vital organs shake. Big exhale. Twisting and turning, you can fold your body, releasing the weight from your upper half. And Just freely move down the legs, hips, thighs, knees, calves, ankles. Your feet can shake out too. If you feel like it, you can tap with fingertips, palms, or fists anywhere in your body. It's best to close your eyes to take your attention inwards. Absorbing your mind into your body through movement, through rhythm, through vibration. Your body is permanently in the present moment. So when your mind is here in your body, your mind can be present too. Doesn't matter what the sensations are, pleasant or unpleasant, comfortable or uncomfortable, familiar or strange. Any sensation brings you to the moment. And just like one beat of the drum connects to the next beat of the drum and the next, each moment can become rhythmic into a flow. Your movements, your sensations can all link together, and your consciousness can find continuity. And you move from the one-pointed focus to that lucid state, the presence, the flow state. Dharana moves into dhyana, into samadhi, the final 3 stages, the 8 limbs of yoga. Absorption into the moment. Go a little bit deeper and deeper. Breathe out your distractions. Breathe out your worries. And vibrate into the flow state. If there's parts of you that feel disconnected or blocked, shake them out a little more. Go a little bit deeper and deeper. Slowing down now, and close your eyes, moving into stillness. Open your feet wide, bend your knees, gather your arms in a circle. Like a bird lifting up on the invisible streams of air, your body can flow on these invisible waves of energy into Qigong. Harmonize your movement and your breath. Your breath expands to your fingertips, to the crown of the head, the bottoms of your feet. Breathing not just the air through your nose and mouth, breathing the energy through your skin. Imagine your body permeable, porous. Energy flows through each acupressure point. waves lifting and lowering from your center, rippling out from your body. The flow state, not something you hold on to, not something you capture and sustain, but something you experience and ride with, like surfing on a wave. Balancing, holding on and letting go. And then gather up your center, inhale, lifting up, lifting overhead, and then spreading out wide, expanding. Like a fountain bubbling up from deep in the earth and gushing out, up and over you. Once per breath, inhale as you rise, and exhale at the peak, spreading out and releasing. Find clarity in the moments, presence, happiness, contentment. All the niyamas are here. The heat of tapas, cleansing, purity is sausha. Ishvara pranidhana, surrender to the divine. And step your feet wider and gliding now, silk reeling from side to side, shifting your hips, your fingertips like paintbrushes. Relaxed but intentional. Sharing this energy with all parts of you, integrating every cell. Your leading hand now goes over, your following hand under, connecting heaven and earth, blending the physical and the metaphysical. That sense of energy can be your dharana, binding you to the moment and carrying you through it. And now an infinity, both hands follow each other, one leading and then the other leading, like two sparrows playing in the trees, one chasing the other, up the center and down the side. The inside becomes the outside, the front becomes the back, the yin and yang playing with each other. And you can reverse down the center and up the sides, shifting your core as you move. And playing with this energy, you can move intuitively, and from this duality comes infinite possibility. Let your body move freely, your feet, your arms. Integrate your whole being. Can sustain this flow state longer and longer. You absorb your mind and your body, they blend into one. The sense of intention and the sense of intuition and guidance merge together. If you lose the feeling, bring the hands back to a ball and let it grow again. Nothing's contrived. Everything you need to experience liberation is within you. Samadhi is the fullness of who you are. It's available here and now and always. Let that energy lead you inwards. Gathering this energy, collecting it, and drawing it towards you. Let the hands hover and scan around your body. As your sensitivity grows, the sensations become more clear to you. And your hands can find a place to settle and land somewhere in your body. Pressing them to your skin, closing your eyes, and breathing 3 times. Brushing your body, sweeping from head to toe. Massaging tight spots as you sweep down, brushing off stagnant areas. And make your way to the floor. You can stretch out on your back and roll up and down your spine. Rocking up and down or side to side. And then open your arms, bend your knees, twisting left to right. Once you've arrived in a present state, once you feel fully connected to your body, to the moment, once there's no other place you'd rather be than here and now, you can then release your dharana. Like after you've climbed to the roof, you can release the ladder. If you find yourself back on the ground, you can climb again with your dharana to that state of connection. Take a minute or two, any final stretches, movements, shapes that you would feel are needed to balance you out. Take some time, some free time here. Explore those. Whenever you're ready, you can make your nest for Shavasana. You could cozy up with a blanket or some props. If your mind is still a little busier than you'd like, you can rock your legs in and out, tapping the toes, the balls of the feet together, or simply rocking the whole leg in and out. Drawing energy away from your mind, calming your thoughts. Allow enough time for your brainwaves to lower to that restorative state. A few minutes of deep Shavasana can be as refreshing as a few hours of sleep. ready, settling into stillness. If you'd like to stay in your Shavasana a little bit longer, feel free. If you're ready to transition back, you can stir your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms and legs. And bend your knees and rock from side to side. And then slowly rolling to the side as you transition back to a comfortable seat. Let's join your palms together in front of your hearts, Anjali Mudra. And perhaps there's a dharana that you'd like to take with you through the rest of your day or your weekend. Something that brings you back to the moment, that brings you back to your body. Picture yourself moving through the weekend, wearing your dharana like a necklace, something you keep with you, something comfortable. And thank you so much for joining today. Namaste.